Okay, so I I lost my voice, and ever since I said that, I feel like all my colleagues are just like Vasha things, Vasha things. But seriously, I lost my voice before Vasha. Okay, and here we are. I wanted to use this mic because I was doing a few things. It's a project I'll explain a bit, but I wanted to use this mic, but I can't. So I'm using my normal mic. So I'm just putting this here for the aesthetic. Yes, yeah, we are those type of people. So today is going to be a really chill video. Already lost light, so that's why I'm using like this very bright light. I'm in the studio, and I figured let me just shoot the video in retrospect of the first half of the year. So much has happened. I can't believe like we're going to July already, and yeah, so much has happened. So I just wanted to share basically 5 tips that I've landed from the first half of the year. So yeah, let's do this. So for those who are new to my face, my name is Stacey Nduta, and basically on this channel, we speak on growth, we speak on business, and we also kind of go into lifestyle in terms of skincare, because as someone who really struggled with acne, that's how I started vlogging. I started sharing tips and just helping people understand the things that I was getting to understand through research. So I feel like that's what my life has become. I go do life research, experience things, and then I come back and I document and I share what I've learned, and then people are like, okay, this is useful. Oh my god, could you expound on this other item? And yeah, that's basically what my vlogging has become. I'm just your lab rat running around and doing experiments and then bringing you back the data. So yeah, let's start. So the first point is testing and planning shouldn't be mutually exclusive. For someone who is a planner, because today I have my coffee. For someone who is like, I really pride myself as a planner. Like, yes, I don't always like stick to the plan, thankfully, because I'm adaptive. But now the issue comes in when I don't plan at all and it overwhelms me, and I just feel like so much is happening and I don't have a chance to apply myself or give my best self. But something that I'm learning, as much as we want to say first plan, then test and do, I'm starting to see that maybe both of them work hand in hand, because what you're going to do is, when you have a concept in mind, whether this is just going to be a very interesting video, let me say that it's in the gist of how I speak for those who are new to the channel, but this video is specific to just my thought process is usually like this. It's like just if anything pitas you, please just rewind and check it. Sorry, I'm reading messages and I should probably okay, yeah, so what happened, I was just replying to some messages. I feel like once you're a consultant, you can't really get out of things. You either respond to them or people will start calling you. So that's what I was doing. But basically what I was saying is testing and planning don't have to be mutually exclusive. They actually go hand in hand, and that's in life in general and also in business. Like, you know, you'll have concepts and you'll have ideas and you'll have all those things just coming up at you either daily, weekly, or something of the sort, depending on how you plan out your for me, for example, in digital marketing, that would be digital campaigns. But the good thing is, by the way, I can't drink dawa again. I've drank dawa till my like, I'm starting to like lemon. That's how you know it's a problem. Anyway, yeah, so testing and planning don't have to be mutually exclusive, because when you actually come up with a concept, you want to know if the concept is actually valid or plausible, right? So what I'm learning, or how I'm learning to navigate this, is when you come up with ideas, just test. Either talk to someone, have someone who's basically like your soundboard. You can actually run ideas past them, and this helps, especially if you do it niche wise. So you have people who you can talk to about the social ideas and concepts that you'd like to test. That could be in your social circles. For example, if you want to try a new look, if you want to try a new place to eat and all that, they're your best bet. And what is it called? In case you also want like someone who can help advise you in terms of your career, people will be like, oh, you should probably get like a mentor and all that. Like, mentors are amazing, but something that I'm learning is that there's so much curated information nowadays. You don't necessarily have to have like a sit down with someone like every week. You can invest in, like, something I say severally on this channel. You can invest in books, you can invest in podcasts, you can invest in what are they called? What are they called? Books, podcasts, audiobooks. I think that's pretty much it. And also YouTube. There's a channel that really changed my life, and I used to listen to it like almost every day while I was like working in corporate. Is It's called The Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. That man changed my life, and he'll never know me probably. Maybe I'll meet him, maybe I won't. But being able to just listen to like an hour of his talks with various people just really opened up my mind to concepts that were really foreign to me, to a lifestyle that I didn't think would be realistic for me in an African country. Just they sounded very foreign, but being able to just know it exists is enough for me to, while I'm working or consulting or all that, I'm able to actually pave the way to do the things that once sounded foreign. Speaking of, I was telling a friend of mine. In fact, I was supposed to call him back and I haven't. So if you see this, it's not my fault. Okay, today I've spent the day on call, and it's pretty nice because. So 2 stories at this rate. There are 2 stories. Hey, this video might be long. There are 2 stories. So the first story is when I was coming into like the office, because we work from home most of the time, but everyone has like a designated day where you're like at the office in case one of the members in the community want to use the space, blah blah, all that. So when I was coming into the office, the Uber driver was very concerned. He's asking me, you're going in now, Sunday, because usually we open the office at 10, because usually like the earlier morning hours, it's being cleaned and everything like that. So the person who's like sitting in the whole day comes in at 10. And this man was very confused. He did not understand how I'd be going to the office at that time. But really, I usually leave like at 8, so it just makes sense, right? But for him, and even when I was talking to my friend now, the friend who I'm supposed to have called back, I'm sorry, hi. Basically, we were just saying like, yeah, there are people who cannot fathom spending less than 8 hours working, or if you go into work past 8, you've completely wasted your day. But really, is it really the quantity of hours you put in, or is it actually the quality of the work you put in? And this was a concept that I had like back when I was working full time, and I really questioned, like, really, do I have to like be at the office for like 8 hours straight? I can't just like do like 4 hours and then the rest of the day I'm kind of free doing other things, walking around and handling meetings or whatever. And it was a foreign concept, but being able to work with different SMEs and test out my theories has allowed me to be in a position now, like being able to book consultation calls, because usually if you check my description, there's a Bitly, and you can book a consultation call with me, and I charge like basically just $15 so that's what, 1,500, but you know the dollar rate and everything, $15 an hour, and such things could sound very outrageous to someone, because who are you? Who are you to charge so much? I am who I am. If you don't want to pay that money, that's okay, you know. And many people won't understand that. But what I'm learning, again, test and planning, I tested it. You know, I was like, okay, fine. People actually want to find out, you know, they want guidance, they want all these things, but I need to put a price point on it, right? So I'd put the first price point, it was a bit high. I didn't book any calls, but when I actually lowered it, I realized the ones who had seen it were able to convert. And you see, it's testing and planning. So yeah, those were my 2 stories. The first one was just the fact that I can spend the whole day on calls, but at least you're getting paid for those hours. And the other was the fact that there are people who they view the hours as the quantity of work, but really it's not the same. It's not the same, by the way. And this year, it's really shown me that it's quality over quantity. Don't, I'm not telling you people to boycott work. All I'm saying is that it's realistic for you to be able to package yourself in a way that you can afford to have some free time. I feel like we treat life like an emergency when it comes to career, but everything else is put on pause, especially rest. And that is something that I'm not even going to allow anymore. And this moves on to my second point. Learn to ask for help. As someone who is, I find that's a tricky statement to make, but I realized I developed a sense of purpose when I'm helpful, or when I'm resourceful enough to be helpful to someone or something, or a project or something like that. And it explains why I experienced like chronic people pleasing for a while, until I realized it's only because I gain my external validation by knowing that I made a difference. And many people can't really say that about themselves, but as someone who realized I can easily be exploited because of that, I started learning how to ask for help. I don't believe in doing everything for myself anymore. Like, yeah, you can learn how to do everything yourself, and that's good, but play by your strengths. Ask for help where it's necessary. Don't be so stuck up about who you need to impress, or you know why you want people to point at you and be like, oh wow, look at how hardworking they are. No one cares. No one cares. Think about it. Like, if you're working in corporate, God forbid you die today or tomorrow or whatever, like, wouldn't your job be posted like within the week? You know, wouldn't they have like someone coming in for interviews just after they tell the rest of the staff that you've passed? You know, so please value your rest and ask for help. Value your mental elasticity, because you know people. There's someone who I was arguing with just now on a call, and they're like, why are you saving your passwords? You can save them in I'm like, why should I save them in my head? My brain capacity can do better things other than saving passwords. If you can delegate something to something, why wouldn't you do that? Why do you want to spend more time trying to prove a point to, I don't know who you're proving a point to, but why? You know, let's stop working so hard. It sounds so bad, but let's stop working so hard in a sense that you're draining yourself. And the more you drain yourself, the less effective or the less efficient you are. So yeah, learn to ask for help where necessary. And now moving on to my third point. Nichatukunywe coffee kwanza. Give and give until you have nothing left. Because the reality is you cannot be empty. Even this, think about it, this space behind me, you know, it looks empty, but it's not. It has air. There's nothing that's empty, technically. There's nothing that's empty. You can't run empty unless like it's a capacity like a bottle or like fuel, eh? Hey, anyway, that's for another day. But yeah, you can't run empty, and that's something that I'm starting to learn, especially when working on projects. Sometimes I'm usually really scared about proposing concepts that maybe that will really need my attention and all that. But the amazing thing is, the more you actually give in terms of your hours, in terms of your insight, in terms of your networks, in terms of just your abilities in general, the more abundant you are. And I know someone will listen to this and be like, no, Stacey, no, you don't make sense. That is not really for this local market. That's not an African mindset. I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming arrogant. I don't know. But really, I feel like the best clients that I've had so far are clients that I have given freely. Like, yes, this is the package. Of course, I have boundaries and everything. This is the package we agreed on and everything. But once in a while, I do like value add-ons where like if the reports were not supposed to be part of the package and I still have to do reports for myself because obviously I'm tracking what I'm doing, I'm able to share these insights with them and tell them, hi, look, so this is what we were able to do, this is what we were able to achieve, these are our conversions. I've noticed that our audience responds better when, you see, even say our, because I really own the brands I work with. So I noticed our audience responds better to this and that, la 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 la. You know, it makes it really just gives them the perception, or rather gives them the perspective that I am really truly there, you know, and it's true. God, you people need to understand how much I love what I do, but I am truly there. And because I give so freely, some of them, you know, are open to tipping. Like, yes, this is the amount they're supposed to give every month for a retainer. But once in a while, you know, they surprise me and be like, you've done really amazing this month. Here's an extra, you know. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's just amazing, you know. And yeah, I feel like that's the cycle of giving, you know. The more freely you give, the more responsive people are around you. And something that I really like, by the way, something that even you can tap into is social capital. Become a matchmaker. If that's the only thing you want to like achieve for this year, become a matchmaker. Start talking to different people, finding out what they're doing. By the way, just try and understand at least one person a week. What are they doing? What are they up to? What do they need help with? And then you start seeing dots and patterns and start connecting people, because that's something I'm loving about like where I am in this space. Because what happens is, because I'm spending time researching on various things around SMEs and just looking out for opportunities, you know, if there's an opportunity that they can sign up on, I share, I try and encourage the people who I know are good for it to participate, because sometimes some people just need that affirmation that, yeah, you see, that is something you can freely give. It does not cost you anything to encourage, to stand by someone, to affirm someone's journey, to just let them know that they're on the right track. Because there's some people who genuinely do not, like, they don't have the support system at all. And it's really just helped me open my mind, because just being able to affirm various business owners and work with them and just watching them blossom, such a beautiful feeling. And yeah, if that's the one thing that you just need to do, like every week, just try and learn what someone is doing, either in your circles or even outside of your circles, going for a networking event or something, and start connecting people with each other. And you'll realize most of the people you're able to realize, you know, you're like, you are doing this and you are doing this, you two would be a perfect, partnership. And usually when you point that out for people, they actually pursue it, and it usually grows into something even bigger than anything you could have imagined. Because sometimes that's what people need. They just need the extra push, the extra encouragement, the extra just pat on the back. If that's one thing you can do this year, just give someone a pat on the back for what they're doing. And that's something I try to do with my friends as well. I don't think there's a friend of mine who's told me this is what I'm up to, and I'm like, Nani, who told you can do? No, I don't think I've. Yeah, no, it's not my place. It is not my place. And just being able to see the light in people's lives or work or all that, it goes a long way in helping them realize what they actually see in their mind's eye. And that, and I keep saying that's something many people need. So please give freely. If it's even money, something I'm praying that I'm able to do maybe in the future, because a girl has some bills to pay, some very big bills. In future maybe is like some sort of I'll start like a fund, and then either for the channel, and then I'll just be like donating to like a random list of people. Because sometimes, anyway, I get as much as we want to be on top of things, like I'm not where I was last year, but somehow the bills are also getting as high as the income, so I'm like should probably slow down. But that's a story for another day. Number 4, follow through and trust yourself to deliver, because a lot of people don't actually follow through with what they say they'll do. And that's why and I think that's what happens and what creates distrust amongst us as humans, because we are so used to people making promises about XYZ and then they do not do it at all. And then we hold it against them. But really, if we inspect ourselves and reflect, we realize that we all do it at some point. We say that we're going to do XYZ and then we don't do it at all. Why? There's no reason. It's just that little bit of trusting ourselves that we find it really hard to do. And then the other doubting voice that I usually talk about on the channel is very loud and pretends like it knows everything, but it doesn't really. It's just feeding you lies. So just follow through. I think that's my number 4 for this, like the first half. Because the projects that I honestly did not think I was going to complete. Because there's a project. There's a project I was doing with a client, and I was looking at the workload. She even asked, would you want me to up the retainer? And I told her, you know what, it's okay. It's not an expense we had anticipated. So because of the fact that we had not anticipated it, I wouldn't want it to be like on you. So let me just figure out how to make sure it's not such a quote unquote burden to do, but it's actually something that I can achieve within our budget. And I did it, and we've completed it, and the feedback has been amazing, you guys. Like I'm really grateful I pulled through with that. So sometimes you just need to take it a step at a time and follow through the ideas, the concepts, even if it's like basically just the what do you call it? Like just basic concepts that you'd like to do but haven't done. Just do it. I opened my first I opened a LinkedIn page for my business, which is something I'd struggled with since like 2020 when I started, because I was still employed. I didn't want to show my boss I'm getting money elsewhere, even though they're not adding money. So it was just I didn't expect that response. People liked the page, people are engaging with the content I'm posting. Even have a bit.ly or just a link tree where people can find various things. In fact, now you can even tip me through my link tree. I'm just saying, kachai. Which just learn to follow through, because sometimes it gets really uncomfortable, and uncomfortable doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Uncomfortable just means you're in unfamiliar territory, and you just need to actually just don't push through through discomfort. Allow yourself to feel all those feelings that are rising because of maybe you got a new client and you're really scared that you're going to mess up and all that. Feel through those feelings. Where are those feelings coming from? Are you scared about messing up, or are you scared because there are other items you have not done due diligence around? So basically that's number 4. 5, but not last but not least, laugh and make merry. This life is not that serious. I was on so clearly I was on a call the whole day, but one of the clients I was just debriefing, we're just catching up because she's traveling and we won't be able to catch up in terms of the July and August projects. But she was just telling me about a book she was reading, and basically this is what happens. You'll just realize that when you start consulting or working remotely with people, it's mostly how you connect with them. So they'll tell you other things out of the scope of work, and it's okay, because what you're doing is you're just learning each other. And yeah, it's something I was uncomfortable with at first, especially with male clients, but right now I get it. I completely get it. But basically what she was saying is we all die. We're all going to die, and that's something people forget. And she was reading a book about how the origins of Islam. No, she's not Islamic, but the origins of Islam, and how it was brutally enforced by those they're called those. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into that, but it was brutally enforced. But we don't remember the people who enforced, and they died, and some of them were not even documented. And that's the fact. At the end of the day, we might carry ourselves or our purpose so highly, but at the end of the day, did you really truly live your life? Are you slaving every day just so that you can retire at 50 and enjoy 3 years of retirement in poverty? So just make sure at least every week you've done something that brings your heart joy. You've spent time with people who really just make life worth living. And yeah, laugh and make merry. Yes, so I am not ashamed that I went to Vasha because it was fun. I went with my best friend, and yeah, it's just amazing when you spend time with people and you just get to learn them and learn yourself, because sometimes you can be in very reactive situations, and you want to blame people, or you want to do this and that. But because you're understanding yourself and studying yourself, you're able to understand and study those around you. So yeah, laugh and make merry. This life is not that serious. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do the video last week. Last week was busy. I don't even know how I pulled it, but follow through. Step at a time, day at a time. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love you guys. Bye.